In this video, we're going to be going over exactly why the winter is the best time of the year to double down on your marketing and get ahead of your competition. My name is Brady Carlson. I'm one of the co-founders of Dirt to Dollars, and on this channel, we discuss all things marketing and all things business strategy for blue-collar businesses and contractors across the United States. Now, at Dirt to Dollars, we don't believe in the concept of slow seasons and the winter being the time that we have to shut our doors. Winter's actually, and we're going to get into it in this video, is one of the best times to double down on your marketing to get a step further ahead of your competition. All of your competition stops spending. They all lay off all of their crews. They stop selling completely. It kind of opens up like a little mini monopoly that you can have on your market, because there's no reason at all. I mean, even if the ground's frozen and there's 6 feet of snow on the ground, there's no reason at all why you can't sell jobs still, right? And a large portion of that is true, and even to the point where a lot of jobs can still be completed during these slow periods of time. But it's just a general misconception to a lot of contractors, a ton of blue-collar businesses that we see in the United States, and their buyers as well. So we're going to go over how to combat those things in this video. Before we jump in, do me a favor, hit the like button and the subscribe button down below. Be sure to hit the little bell icon as well to see every time that we upload a video. We're uploading them pretty frequently right now, so we're dropping a lot of sauce and going over all of the strategies that we see working in businesses, different industries, our contractors that we're working with across the United States right now. So there's a lot of good stuff to get into, but the winter, the slow season, is a time that you should be ramping up, not slowing down. Let's dive in. So to reiterate, the biggest misconception that we see is that contractors think all the work's dried up. A lot of the land management, earthwork companies that we work with, they all think that the work is just gone. It's just not there. It's just, there's nothing to be had. There's nothing for the taking during the winter, which it couldn't be farther from the truth. Now, everybody thinks this. It's 95% of people think this, from contractors to the actual homeowners, property owners. Your clients believe this also, right? So what we're going to be going over is, again, like eliminating that self-belief that so many contractors have in the United States, and then how to combat the consumer mindset as well, and the consumer misconception that there's no work to be had at all during the winter, right? So the opportunity that this is going to open up for you, like I already mentioned, is the small monopoly that this is going to create in your market, right? Because like I said, it's very important to understand, when your competition stops spending on paid ads, right? They stop dealing with word of mouth and referral leads, even to that extent. They stop dealing with inquiries on their website, or doing any kind of outreach, or they shut their Google ads down, they shut their Facebook ads down, whatever it is. They shut all of their acquisition systems basically off and lay off all of their crew and say, we'll open up again on this date, whatever that date is, in the spring. And what that's going to do is it's going to basically free up a huge portion of the market for whoever is spending, right? Whoever is still going to continue spending on paid ads will start to see a cheaper lead cost, right? A better conversion to appointment cost, a better appointment cost, a better cost per bid, and arguably a higher close rate as well. Because from the actual marketing side of things, because you're basically not dealing with as much competition as you would be in like the late spring, early fall, summertime, it's pretty easy to make like a no-brainer, like irresistible offer to a lot of the people that you're meeting with, right? And give them like a winter deal. Like, just for example, like you could just say like, we're rolling out like our winter offer right now, like winter prices are now in effect, and you can make that like, I don't know, like 10% cheaper than your typical prices would be. Whatever it is, just to get the consumer more bought in and intrigued to want to go with you by creating a little bit of that scarcity and urgency tactic in the mind of the consumer. So they actually are getting like a better deal, right? And they're going to be at the top of your list. So when spring does come around, they can actually, like, their job is lined up first. They locked in at your winter rate, and there's no questions asked, right? Or, in a lot of cases, you probably can do a lot of the work during the winter anyway. I mean, a pretty common selling point to use is, in a lot of areas, if you don't have like a ton of snow on the ground, or maybe you're clearing or mulching or whatever, and, really anything that involves with just like being outdoors, I guess in general, and you're battling the elements, if you're going to clear land, right? Why would a homeowner why would they want to do that in the spring when everything's thawing and it's muddy and it's a rainy mess and you're bringing huge pieces of equipment onto their property and tearing it up and basically creating like a ton of damage that's just going to create another headache for the homeowner, make the project a lot more expensive for the homeowner, that property owner, whoever it is, when they could just get it done during the winter and the ground's frozen and you can just come in and clean it. It's much easier. It's like a much more effective way of actually getting the same job done. And there's going to be a lot of those. There's going to be a lot of those specific opportunities that if you just mention that to someone, it'll just immediately click in like a consumer's mind. They'll be like, oh, I guess I never really thought about it like that. I guess that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, let's go for it now, right? And then you can lock it in, signature and down payment on the spot for that on-site appointment that you're booking, right? So a lot to take advantage of, right? If you think your business is at a point where you're aggressively looking to take on more work and you're ready to actually start scaling aggressively, predictably, and efficiently, you might want to check out what it is that we even do. So we're a full-blown marketing company. We handle everything from your paid ads to your funnels, your appointment request funnels, database reactivations. We call all of your leads for you. We kickstart the sales process for you and just book on-site appointments to your calendar. So all you got to do is just show up and close the deals. If you want to see if that's something that could skyrocket your business this year, kind of like it has Chris here. I'll throw this little screenshot up on the screen. Again, just another, it's a common misconception that you can't get to work in the winter, but we continue to keep proving people wrong time and time again on why that's just completely not the case. So if you want to check us out, I dropped a link down in the description of this video. So go ahead, you can book a call with our team and we'll see if it's a good fit and see if we can even help you out in the first place. So let's get back to the video. Getting the messaging across to the consumer is going to be important as well. Switching the angles of your ads once you start to then double down and like a lot of people say like, oh, should I scale back spend? Should I turn back spend, or should I just turn off spend all the way? I encourage people to almost double down. Like right now it's November at the time of filming this, November 2025, and right around this time is where it's like, okay, start to creep the budget up. Just keep going and going and going, and then like do that until you start to see like diminishing returns. But as you get into December, January, February, you will see a better cost per lead, a better cost per appointment. Obviously, if your campaigns are targeting the right demographics, the right type of buyer in the first place, and your campaigns are just set up from the get-go to hit that right pocket audience correctly, you really shouldn't have a problem, right? And I haven't seen this fail in like a lot of different situations. But anyway, before I get off on a tangent, the ads and the messaging in the ads should be portraying to your clients and to your potential buyers that like, hey, we can do your job in the winter, right? One of our clients a couple of years ago, middle of the winter, he had a drone, and we just asked him like, hey, he's in an area, snow on the ground, frozen, whatever, and he was out like doing I think it was a mulching job or something at the time. And we were like, hey, go out there, get the drone, do some flyover shots, there's snow on the ground, there's no leaves on the trees, it's very obviously winter right now, and get us a whole bunch of that stuff, and we're gonna run that specific type of campaign for you, and just keep it all focused around the environment, right? There's no leaves on the trees, there's snow on the ground, it's frozen, and those ads crushed. Those campaigns crushed. He was booked for the entire winter. He actually hit a record revenue month in the middle of the winter in January of, this was 2022, 2023 or something like that at this point. And we've seen that it's just so consistent across all the accounts and all the businesses that we work with. And the people that do actually utilize this correctly and take advantage of this time of year, they all see very similar things, again, when it's done correctly. So important to actually shift the campaign focus in your marketing pushes to actually portraying and to your ideal buyer that hey, you actually can get your job done at this point of the year, right? Just because it's winter doesn't mean we have to wait until spring, right? All of your competition, they're waiting till spring. They won't even sell it. And even if there is 6 feet of snow on the ground or whatever, and I guess that's maybe a bit of an extreme example, there's no reason at all why you still can't sell the job. There's no reason at all why you still can't get a contract and get a down payment and lock somebody in with winter pricing. So I would say what's important here is from the beginning is making sure that you understand that there is a ton of work to be had. You have basically a mini monopoly on your market for 4 months out of the year, 3-4 months out of the year, give or take, and you're portraying messaging to your buyers that they can actually get their projects done in the winter or the slow season, right? Doubling down on spend, actually getting more aggressive than you typically would be throughout the year, right? And running like some type of winter themed offer is pretty important as well. So I mean, just another way to just lean in on it, even more, right? And be like, hey, like running like a winter, like for example, I'm not saying like this is what you're gonna do, but you could do like, hey, like we're throughout the winter, like we're pairing like a free estimate in the winter with like, I don't know, if it's like land clearing or something, like 10% off your first 5 acres of clearing, like winter special only, or like something like that, a winter deal only. Just to kind of give you an example, and you guys can kind of play around, and if you got any good ones, drop them down in the comments, and I'll get back to you. But that should be kind of like the direction that you go with this. So just make sure that you're conveying the message to your potential buyers appropriately, that they can actually get their project done. Like again, like the client example that I brought up earlier, when we were already getting good results throughout the winter, like using, like it wasn't like blatantly obvious that it was like winter styled content or ads that we were running, or themed messaging that we were going with. But when we started to do that and started to lean into it a little bit more, those campaigns took off. We had huge monopolies in so many of these markets across the United States, and not just southern states. Honestly, most of them were all northern states, because it was just getting that message across to the buyer that like, hey, you can get your job done now. Here's why it's more beneficial to get your job done now, right? Or lock your project in now, right? So a bunch of different angles that you can take there. So just wanted to make this quick video to go over that. Any questions, drop them down below in the comments. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and we'll be dropping more sauce on the channel shortly. So thanks for tuning in.